better make it a good one now because I'm about half fired up here.
Gators take over inside their 25. And looking to take a shot to the end zone. It's covered downfield. Franks creates space. Now throws. Caught. Flies. Touchdown, Florida. From going deep. High arcing shot. It is hung in. Terry Godwin. Dan Auburn. Big Cat Bryant. 12 men behind the Aggies. To Amu. He's going to take a shot. Downfield Brown. It is caught.
Finds an opening in the corner. Judy is there. Touchdown, Alabama.
A lot going deep. Got a step. Caught. Touchdown, Missouri. Benny Snell Jr. bursts free. A bowling ball. The tight end makes a big play for Arkansas. Just what they
Talk a little trash once in a while, but if you give him a seam just like that, he'll make you pay.
He's in. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
If you can't talk about it, you can't be about it.
Gerald taking a shot on the post. Got it. He have it. Hang on. He does. Touchdown, Tennessee. Marquez Callaway.
We're coming. And we ain't backing down.
What's up, guys? I'm Dano, and this is Mouth of the South. Here with me is Mason Williver and Forrest Clemens. How you doing today?
Roll Tide.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. We are finally here. We got just about like 2 or 3 days until the first college football game. We got Florida and Miami up, so and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to hit some news up, and we are going to preview the Florida and Miami game. But let's first off and let's first start it off by saying you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. On Facebook, you can find us at Mouth of the South SEC. It's our Facebook page, and then on Twitter, you can find us at MOTS_SEC. Did you get that right there, Mason?
You got it.
All right, let's get it. So we'll hit that news button, and then we'll get right to it.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
How'd you like that, Boris? You've
good.
missed a couple little buttons here and there. So, all right, what's up first?
Well, we had some decisions on starting quarterbacks take place since our last recording. We'll start with your team there, Auburn.
Down in the Plains. Oh, Bo Nix finally got named the starter. How'd y'all feel about that? Did you think it was always going to be Bo?
It's Auburn's first true freshman to ever get the starting position.
Second true freshman. The
first since 1946.
Yeah, and that was Travis Tidwell, and he actually went to be the offensive player of the year that year. So, yeah, that hasn't been the first freshman to start since Jeremy Johnson, if that tells you something.
Well, for your sake, I hope it doesn't tell us a lot.
Yeah. Surely Bo Nix doesn't play like Jeremy Johnson. If he does, I may just quit on football altogether.
And
don't hold me to that.
Bo Nix is actually the son of Patrick Nix, who also played for Auburn.
Played in the 90s. He actually had a pretty solid career.
Yeah, he led them to that 11-0 season when Stan White, right? I don't remember the name right off the top of my head, but he went down to an injury, and it's when Patrick Nix came in and really stole the show. And like Bo, he actually comes from like a whole line. His dad played at Auburn, and his mom went to Auburn, and his grandfather's like a very successful Georgia football coach in the high school level. Which Patrick Nix actually coached in the college level, and he was his high school football coach. So I mean, Bo's he's probably been taught right. He's had a lot of opportunities to be coached, correctly, and he's probably got a lot of skills under his belt for sure. I mean, when
when you have like 13,000 yards in high school football, I mean that's pretty much. I mean, he broke like a state record for Alabama. So, but yeah, we also had some other quarterback. Someone got named the quarterback over in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Big old Jalen.
Old Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and apparently the reports were that it was a close competition.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to make the other guy feel kind of better about himself.
Who's the other guy? Do we even know?
I mean, I saw the name, but he's a freshman. I don't have the name off the top of my head, but in my opinion, I think that they just wanted to make him feel good.
Okay.
Because he's going to be there for years to come. You know, I don't want to say, oh yeah, Jalen ran away with it. You know, this other guy, he's no good.
Well, come on, everyone knew Jalen was probably going to win it. He's highly experienced, and you know he's got I mean, he may not be like the number one quarterback in America, but he can win you ball games for sure.
He's going to be a Heisman finalist.
He will not.
I think he will. I hope he wins it.
No.
I said I hope he. I said I didn't say I didn't. You know, I didn't say he was gonna win it, but I said I hope he won it. He's like he has to be the most deserving.
That would be pretty cool,
player.
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make Oklahoma quarterback U, right? I mean, you got LSU. They claim DBU.
I don't think I've ever seen. Has that even ever happened?
Three in a row.
Yeah, from one school.
Probably not.
I mean,
so
surely
that would be interesting. I think Lincoln Riley had been doing something good over there. If that was the case, I don't know though. There's so many good players out there. I don't think Jalen actually wins it.
Big 12 don't play defense though.
Well, that's true, and that also would aid Jalen. But honestly, like if you could pick out of Trevor Lawrence and Tua, who you think would win it?
All right, name mine.
Oh yeah,
Heisman.
Tua.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
You know,
will
we actually
win the Heisman this year.
We actually did a poll on Facebook and Trevor Lawrence had Tua, you know, by a pretty good bit. I mean, he was up like 27%.
Yeah.
We had like 165 votes. So, yep. Anything else going on in the college football world that you guys have heard of?
Well, staying on the quarterback news, the good old Commodores, they open up against Georgia.
Your favorite team.
Oh, absolutely. And Derek Mason is going with the strategic strategy of not announcing a quarterback for that opening game.
Bold strategy.
And I'm sure that Georgia's going to have a real hard time, you know, defending against whichever one-star recruit they're going up against for Vanderbilt there.
Man, wouldn't it be something, though, if Vandy upset them on the first game of the year? That'd be crazy.
Georgia's not that good.
Huh?
But that would be a shock. Georgia's not that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would shock the nation for sure. Yeah, so anything else, guys? I haven't seen anything else pretty much happen here, and you get you a nice little snap in for us.
There was a couple.
Promoting the podcast, you know.
Huh?
Yeah.
Promoting the podcast.
Oh yeah, man, you got to.
There was a couple alternate uniforms that were.
Oh yes,
to the
I
public.
almost forgot. Let's.
Michigan State and Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I don't really know which one is worse, but Louisville's terrible. It's a black and white printer that looks like they 3D printed these out.
I haven't seen Louisville.
Mason's his caption on our Facebook page and Twitter page was absolutely hilarious. I'm not as judgmental on them because it's actually like based off of Muhammad Ali. That's why they got the red receiver gloves because it's like, you know, boxing gloves or whatever. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Mason said
they're
it
a
looked
football team.
Huh?
They're a football team.
Well, that's true, but it's the same concept of, you know, all these other teams wearing the Jump Man on their logo on their uniforms. You know, like the Michael Jordan.
Then Michigan State released theirs a while back. And,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what's going on here.
The bold, it seems like their letters are way too big.
Yeah,
for,
and they want people to know that they're the Michigan State.
Was it Wisconsin or Nebraska that had like the crossbones and the skeleton on the side of their shoulder pads?
I think that was Nebraska.
Yeah, those were pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, weren't those also black and white?
Yeah, I think
that
so.
they were main black.
Or they're either black and white or white and red or something like that.
Now Wisconsin, they did release some alternates too, and they got their typical red.
See, those aren't too bad.
They got the UW on the right above the numbers, and then they got some off brown, light tan looking pants. I mean, I don't know where that came from, but I'm not impressed with any of these new uniforms they've come out with.
Not really. We'll get the good ones mid-season.
Mason just likes the Tennessee gray.
No.
I hate to tell you, buddy, it's not coming back.
I think that
they do it once a year, I'm pretty sure, don't they?
No, they Jeremy Pruitt did away with it.
Yeah, they packed it up in Butch's bag, and they now give them away to people down in Tuscaloosa.
So you don't like the gray?
I mean,
just because Butch was there, don't mean it's.
Tennessee's never won.
It don't mean the uniforms are cursed.
Well, they lost every game they played in them. I mean, I like the gray and orange, together, but I mean.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. When they let Nike do the checkerboard, at the end on the pants, the checkerboard
Yeah.
It kind of faded in checkerboard, and I liked all that. It was cool. Now they wear white socks with black shoes. That goes with their, Tennessee colors. It just kind of, I get tradition and all, but it looks kind of, Hey, Forrest, what do you think about the Alabama LED lights? We didn't ever get to hear from you on that.
I can't wait to go watch a game and see those things.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I heard rumors that every time Alabama scored a touchdown, those lights were going to go off. I don't know if that's true or not. But.
It'd be neat. I saw we posted one picture where it just showed the full red lights, and then we did a video where it was like the light show.
I saw
the light show. It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
I can't wait to see those.
Yeah, it's wrapping up. We're getting closer.
Yeah. I haven't seen another stadium that has like off-colored lights, like LED lights.
It was. I saw where someone commented and said they had it, but it wasn't to that extent. They had LED lights, but it wasn't like.
I saw a bunch of people.
I feel like it was Notre Dame or someone like that. Someone who went for Notre Dame. So
I saw a bunch of people saying that next year you're going to see them everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how successful they are. I mean, they might have a bunch of malfunctions. People might not like them. I mean, you never know.
First year, you're probably going to have malfunctions.
Yeah,
you're going to have a lot of burnouts if they're.
What would be really bad is if the lights all went out during the game.
So they're going to have a lot of burnouts.
They
turn them on every time Alabama scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
How many burnouts do you think they're going to have on Tennessee?
Oh.
Let's see. I'll say 8.
Is that? Are we playing Tennessee at home this year?
Yeah, it's at Bryant-Denny this year.
You going to go to the game, Mason?
No, I don't. Now, it'd be interesting if they wait until after the extra point to do the lights, because they might not come on as often.
Yeah, it's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah. Who's y'all's kicker now?
I really don't know.
I know that they recruited some number one prospect who's going to turn into a pile of garbage.
Nick Saban's recruited the past 2 number one prospects.
I think it's a mental thing. I really do.
And I think that he's even went into recruiting soccer players to try and kick field goals. I remember seeing that somewhere.
It's not a bad idea. It really isn't.
Those Australians that LSU gets.
Yeah. Auburn has an Australian.
Yeah. Those are the best kickers evidently.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Yeah, our punter's Australian. So. Yeah.
And last week we discussed freshmen that would have an immediate impact. And in the presser for Auburn, the question came up about a guy we talked about, Owen Papo, and they asked Coach Malzahn what